Being thankful helps in your life, and here are 4 ways that it does. The first way is that it helps you to notice and appreciate what you do have. Taking a look at what's around you, what's in your life, possibly even what's missing from your life. Not in a bad way like, oh my gosh, I don't have this, but in a way of, oh my gosh, I'm out of that horrible relationship. I'm Lori Druskowski, and I help support you in finding what you love and to create a plan to live a more meaningful life. It makes you appreciate the small things in life. And I can tell you when I realized that I was depressed, and I started every day, every morning, I started writing down 3 things that I was grateful for. And the first couple of days, I feel like they were the big things, family, friends, job. And then after a couple of days, I started to realize that it was more than just those things. It was the running water that I had, because there was a point where we lost power for almost a week. And the invention of the toilet or showers and being able to have the pressure and the hot water that we do. And then there was one day where I was thankful when I had to go and clean up my dog's poop outside. And it was just easy. It just came right up. No smearing, nothing like that. And it made me laugh. And so I realized that these small things that I started to recognize in my life started to have a bigger impact on me than I really thought that they were. So try that. Try it every day. Just 3 things. It won't take you more than a couple of minutes. Share with me what works for you. What are ways that you start to feel grateful for? How are you recognizing the things in your life? What helps you to be thankful? Number 2 is that it makes you feel better about your life. You start to realize what you have. Like, we have food every day. We have running water. We have clean water. Most of us have clean air to breathe or to take a walk. And I think that some people take those things for granted until you maybe start to open your eyes and see what others have or don't have. Families, friends. And this isn't a place to put yourself down or start comparing yourselves to others for what you don't have. But it is a way to almost compare yourself up. And you start to see the things that you really have in your life, and you start to value those things. The simple things of, having a pet there, or a job that you can go to. You really might hate it, but there are good things about it. And you'll start to feel better if you start to look for the positives in your life. So in that job that you may dislike or not like going to, or it's just such a drag, there's probably things that you do enjoy. You might get to socialize with a couple of coworkers, or you might get a chance to actually be, by yourself. I used to go into work and sit in an office all day. And I'm not saying that I didn't want to spend time with my family or my friends, but it was a time for me to re-energize myself, because I didn't have other external people coming in and having to have my energy go towards them. So when you start to see those little things, even in the harshest of moments, my dad's house ended up burning down, and I realized that it was a chance to rebuild. In the moments, you don't see those things, but looking back, it is. And that somewhat leads into number 3, which is looking at things positively. I'm not saying that every story has a silver lining, But sometimes you do have to look for that silver lining. You do have to take a look at those moments and the stories that you start to tell yourself. And number 4 is that it helps you see the good things. I know that these all kind of ran together, but seeing the good things in your life, the more you start to do it, the more you're going to see. Because if I tell you to go out and look for the yellow cars, and you're going to start seeing more yellow cars than you ever have seen before. Or when you go out and buy a new car and you start to see those cars all around, it's because you start to focus on those things. And when you focus on the good and the positive things that are happening in your life, you're going to start to see more positive and good things in your life. And who wouldn't want that? Start to change your focus. Focus on what you want to see, not what you don't. And so for me, the thing that I would have wanted to know, and if I could have learned it earlier, was writing down the 3 things every single day. Every single day, having those 3 things to be grateful for. And some days it was harder to find something good in my life. And I forced myself, which was why I came up with the dog poop one. Because it didn't add more to my stress, because I had to do it. And prior to that, it was that I dreaded it. I mean, who likes to do that? But I also saw that I have pets to take care of, pets that love me. And so looking back, that was the true changing point in my life. It pulled me out of a depression, started to change what I saw in life, how I viewed things, and what I started to focus on.